the purpose of this is really the name of the show, and we call this "We Need to Talk." Why? It's because we go into relationships sometimes, and we have these little things called conflicts, like we have fights, right? And we often don't know how to resolve them. So we're going to play a little game today where we actually get to resolve a conflict. Now we're going to have fun with it, right?
We're going to have a lot of fun, right,
yes.
Sarah and Brian?
Yes, Sarah and Brian were our volunteers last week, and they came on and fought about a dog eating chocolate. And Brian, you naughty boy, I hope there's no more chocolate on the couch this week, which is interesting since Sarah's in California and Brian is East Coast.
It's okay. It's all in the nature of the role play.
Yes. Do you guys ship the dog back and forth? All right. So anyway, we're going to have fun with it. We're going to be looking for a volunteer, and it's okay. We like voluntold as much as volunteers, but it's to resolve a conflict. Now, here's the rules of the game is come on, make up. Actually, we might make up your conflict for you. We'll have some fun with that. And you're going to work to resolve it the first time, just how you would do it right now. Okay. Here's how I do things. This is how I talk through it. You're going to get feedback afterwards on how that was received by other people here, and you'll get a score. All right. Then we will share with you another method. We'll teach you very quickly, and then you get to go do it again. The reason we do this is so you can see the before and after effect. Make sense? All right. Are we ready for the game? We need game show music. We'll have that next week.
Game show music, but I was saying, Dr. Brian, next time we'd have you run music. I'm sure you've got all the sounds and effects.
He's probably got it on push buttons and stuff.
Like the pro setup.
Yeah.
So if you could just imagine in your mind, game show music.
What does game show music sound like?
The Mario.
That's Mario. All right. So I guess we're playing Super Mario now. All right. Well, with that, we're going to jump right into the show, have a little bit of fun. We just need one volunteer who wants to resolve a conflict. And Sarah, I see you're already off mute.
Lucky participant. So Sarah, you
Shawn.
get to choose someone. Sarah chooses Shawn. All right, Shawn, are you ready to be on the hot seat? Woohoo! Okay, so Shawn, you get to choose who you want to practice with. And ideally, it's with a woman. So you have to
You can choose Annie or Sarah.
I'm going to choose Sarah.
Okay.
Okay.
She chooses Sarah. All right. We got a volunteer. Well, a voluntold. Thank you, Shawn, for being voluntold.
Both.
And we have Sarah.
So we have this magic wheel. We call it the Wheel of Randomness. Okay. So
AKA Annie.
No. Oh yeah, that's true. I am the wheel. And the first category that we're gonna pick is what are we talking? Place, location. Okay, so Shawn, you're gonna spin this Wheel of Randomness.
Okay.
And let's see, Dr. Brian, place, location.
This is like Mad Libs. Next up is a noun. All right.
Wyoming.
Brian, where's the place? Wyoming. Outstanding.
Wyoming.
Oh, the beautiful nature and everything. I got to take you to Wyoming. We've never been. All right. Looks like we're going to Yellowstone. Are we going to Yellowstone National Park, Dr. Brian? We're going to Yellowstone.
Yellowstone is perfect. Yellowstone.
This is excellent. And I have a hallucination that they are doing a family trip. And
family trip to Wyoming. All right. And then the next wheel. Spin it with me. Oh, yeah, it's Shawn. Okay. James, I know you're in the sauna. I should have picked James for location, but James, your the topic is the what?
Yes.
The topic of the conflict. What is the topic of the conflict?
And we like to
James?
make these fun. So something silly. If you can come off mute, if you can't, that's okay.
Yes, I'm here. I'm trying to think of like something maybe I experienced recently, but I'm on the spot, so it's hard. Probably like a place.
So I'll give you some examples. Last time the topic was dog.
Yeah, dog eating chocolate that was left on the couch. Totally made up scenario. We talked about burnt popcorn.
Insert
might be one.
Insert noun.
Yeah.
Like probably even just as simple as a place to eat, maybe.
place
A
to eat.
place to eat. I think that's fantastic. So they are on their drive. They're in their motorhome and they are driving from California to Wyoming. And they're driving through this little tiny town. And they're trying to figure out there's 3 restaurants available. They've got either American food, Chinese, or Mexican. The choices are McDonald's, Panda Express, or Chipotle. And they're fighting over which one they're going to eat at.
McDonald's, Panda, and was it Chipotle?
Or Chipotle.
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 Okay. Are you guys all set?
Are we ready for the fight?
The fight.
Get ready to rumble.
And 3, 2, 1, action.
Shawn, so
All
this is
right.
where we hand it off to you.
Okay, I got
All right.
this. Yeah. Okay, so we're hungry. We're all hungry. The kids are hungry, and this is a cool trip. We've never done this before. I want to go to McDonald's. Like the kids have never eaten at McDonald's, and I think they deserve to try McDonald's for once in their life. What do you think, Sarah?
Um, yeah, I don't really feel like eating McDonald's.
I know we never have McDonald's. It's like it's really unhealthy food, but this is something different. Like, I think Wyoming's amazing, and this little town, there's a lot of horses out here and cowboys and cowgirls, and I'm sure like it's probably a healthy McDonald's, and I think the kids would really want to have that experience. I want to get them a Happy Meal.
You do? What do you want to eat there? Are you gonna eat there, or are you just gonna get them a Happy Meal?
Me, I'm gonna maybe make something in the camper.
So you're not gonna eat there.
No.
You want me to eat there?
Well, yeah, you could eat with the kids.
But,
I mean, I'll sit with you guys.
so you don't want to eat there, but you want me to eat there.
Yes.
I don't really want to eat it either.
All right, I'll eat there too, but I'm deciding we're gonna go to McDonald's. I'll eat there too.
So I'm just curious, like I feel like you like Chipotle a little more, like you probably eat there and we all like that. Do you want to maybe go a place where all the 4 of us could eat?
I do like it, but I'm kind of tired of it. We eat that, whenever we're on a road trip, it's always Chipotle or Panda Express, and I- I'm, switching up here. McDonald's. Maybe they have a cool toy or a Happy Meal. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you want to go there, we can go there.
Okay.
Okay. So this is about the time that you've already passed through the town. And now you don't even have McDonald's as an option because it took so long to get to a solution here. All right.
It only took a minute and a half.
Yeah, that's okay. You guys did great. All right. So
First of all,
first off, round of applause to everyone. Awesome. So Shawn, I'm just curious, how did that feel to you?
It felt weird.
Felt weird. What was weird?
Well, I guess I would never choose McDonald's, and so that was part of it. And yeah, I wouldn't want to take my kids to McDonald's, so it's kind of going against like how I would normally do things. But I think I was trying to figure out how to have a conflict there because generally speaking, I think we are aligned on what to eat. And so this one yeah, I just felt like there was not really much of a conflict there actually. Like I don't know. So it kind of I wasn't sure what I was doing essentially.
I think that's perfectly fine. So what I saw, by the way, you did great because you chose
you
a
committed
topic
to it too.
that like we would never do this. I'm going to intentionally pick something that Sarah probably won't agree to. And then what I also noticed is that you made it even more challenging. Like, yeah, you can eat that stuff, but I ain't touching it. And so I thought that was kind of fun how you brought that in. And Sarah, I'm just curious how it felt from your point of view as Shawn was telling you what you were going to be eating.
It felt it felt soft, but then it felt like a little like command and demand. And so it was like I don't know. It was like, okay, I'll do what you want, but you don't even want to do it. Like, I don't know how to follow that.
Oh, interesting. And so have you ever experienced that from anyone else? And let's not, I'm not trying to pick on Shawn on this. Like what I hear from women is that that's a common thing,
That
that
it's
there's a lack of clarity and decisiveness about what a man might want. And so that was great feedback, not necessarily. And Shawn, this is actually true in this case because you really didn't want this and you weren't committed to it. And so she felt that energy as well. Is there anything else, Sara? And you were going to add something too, actually. What did you want to add?
just to your point of it's hard to follow when there's no clear leadership. Or
Yes.
like, sometimes we feel, and men and women too, like we feel the tentativeness and we can't really put our finger on it quite yet, but it just feels uncertain. And it's a huge difference than like, let's go to Whole Foods because like, if you have like a strong convictions for something, it feels definitely very different.
Yes. Okay. So with that, let's talk about what worked, what didn't, what was good, what could be even better. So Annie, feedback.
Oh, I'm not ready because I need my notebook. So let's go to Dr. Brian.
All right, Dr. Brian,
Give me one moment.
let's go to you, sir. What was great? Just what was great. That's it. What was great about how Shawn handled that? Not Sara. We're only focused on Shawn.
Yeah, come off.
And you're on
there.
mute. Otherwise, it's fantastic. What you're saying is brilliant. I have no doubt.
Of course, that silence that I was trying to get out of there was perfect. Okay, so Shawn, what was really great was how you had to figure out what would make it wrong. You were trying to think. I did the same thing last week. You were trying to figure out how to be less agreeable. And that's good because you want to know what that is. You want to be able to know, like, what does Sara hate? Oh, she hates it when I just tell her what to do. Okay, so Sara, you're going to McDonald's. Oh, wait, she hates McDonald's. Even better, you're going to McDonald's. Fine, Chipotle, whatever, it's fine. And you were doing that. You were really trying to grab what in the world would be, knowing the person you love and thinking, what would they hate? And going there and really trying to hallucinate it, see it, command it even. So you did several layers to do that.
What I thought was great is I could tell that you're fully committed, Shawn. Like also, you got the outcome that you wanted. And I felt like there was no way you would leave that situation unless Sara said yes. So you got your outcome. You were clearly committed into getting your outcome. And also your energy throughout, I didn't feel like at any point you were upset or angry or sad. You had a very good control of just how you came. Even though this is like a ridiculous situation, right? But it was just I could feel your groundedness even through the silliness of everything.
Yeah, Shawn, similar feedback is like you remained, what I experienced was pretty neutral energetically. And I could see, yeah, there was these moments where like, well, how do I do this? But then you made a commitment. I'm going to, you know what? Well, I'm going to pick McDonald's because that's like the hard one. And so I also really appreciate and acknowledge you for that is choosing the hard one. It would have been so easy to say, let's go to Chipotle. Yeah, of course. Why would we go anywhere else? This would have been a very short show with little feedback. So thank you for doing that. All right, let's go to what could be even better, Dr. Brian.
In which direction? Hold on, which direction? What should be better to create more conflict or create?
No, what could be better in resolving?
In resolving conflict.
Yes. So like, what did you notice that maybe didn't work?
Didn't work was clarity.
Okay.
That right there. It was missing clarity. If anything, it felt like a floppy fish. La 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 la. Wasn't sure. Well, we could do that. Okay. Well, you like that, and then he found his way into it. And even so, he found a way that was not great agreeable. He got what he wanted, but Sara didn't look happy.
Okay.
So he got to really sell himself on McDonald's before he tries to influence another person.
He had to make a choice.
Okay, great.
Yes, Annie.
I would say, the outcome worked, right? So I think what could be even better is how the other person felt. Like I was looking at Sara's face and like Dr. Brad, I could tell that she was not pleased. And perhaps figuring out what is her leverage? I think you actually said something because Sarah loves her kids, and you know that very well. And at one point, you said, I think this would be a great experience for the kids to have a happy meal or something along those lines. And it kind of moved the needle for her. And I think really exposing what moves the other person and almost speaking about it from their perspective to better influence them would have been extraordinary.
Yeah, and what I noticed is something actually Sara gave feedback on as well. Is there was a moment it was like, well, this is what we're doing. And so it came across as, well, you don't really have a choice. I'm pretending you have a choice. I'm trying to enroll you, but we're doing it anyway. And what I noticed is that at that moment, she actually winced a little bit, like, whoa, wait a second. And then gave up is the sense that I got from her. It was like, well, okay, I guess we're going there. And so that's maybe something to be aware of. And so let's go with scores very quickly. So we're just doing 0 to 10. And the purpose of the score is just so we can see our improvement, because we're going to give you a structure here in a second. All right. So with that, let's go to.
I would say it's a 7.5. It worked, and because you got the outcome, and delivery could be enhanced.
Perfect. Dr. Brian.
6. Delivery was fine. Took too long to really get this point, and he wasn't really sure of it in the first place. He did get what he wanted, so more than 5. So I would go 6.
All right, and I'm going to give it a 7.5 as well. And what I really got out of it, the biggest thing is your energy through it. It wasn't like there was no anger. There was just level, and it was good there. And what could be improved is, how do I enroll this person to do something that I know they're actually against right now? It's finding, as Andy talked about, that leverage, what's going to move them to do something even you don't want to do. And what I'd offer is, the first one is certainty. Like, I've got to be total conviction that this is the way to go, without saying we're effing going that way. But the energy moves us to go that way.
Yes.
All right. So with that,
and I just want to acknowledge, Shawn, you came in so ready to go. I just think it's incredible that you're like, all right, we're doing this role play and it's going to be strange, but we're going to go for it anyways.
Thank you.
It's a challenge. And I forgot. So James, I know you can't come on camera, but is there anything you want to add to the feedback?
I mean, I think that he handled himself well. He seemed like open-minded enough through the process. I don't know if his goal was to most definitely get the McDonald's, and therefore it led there, but he sounded open-minded about it, and I don't know, it almost felt real, if I'm being honest. I don't know if that's typically how the conversations go for him in his relationships, but
it felt real,
it's like, yeah, I think so, because I just feel like, at least, I don't know, taking inventory for myself, I mean, that sounds like a conversation, again, that I'll be having, and like, without wanting to be too, like, I guess, commanding. It's almost like you have to be soft-spoken and flexible and open-minded, and I think he was. So yeah. I think he handled it pretty well.
All of us come in with different styles, and sometimes what these absurd situations reveal is just what's our go-to when we don't know exactly what to do. And so, we don't really know until we ask Shawn, but let's introduce a different way.
Yes. So we call this the rapid repair method, and it still works even for these kinds of discussions, because really what we're doing is, first is grounding ourselves in what direction we want to head. And this goes into like a pre-frame. And we can use it whether it's because we have a fight that's actually happening, or we're trying to influence somebody. And so, like, in this case, what that could sound like is, and I'm just going to go ahead and act it out. I might go, hey, Sara, man, we're in the middle of nowhere. And I'm noticing that there's only like 3 restaurants here, and none of them are really good. And we got to figure out where we're going to eat. And I have an idea. I'd like to talk through it and just see if you're open to trying something different. Would that be okay, Sara, if we just talk about maybe trying something different? So what have I done here? How does that feel, by the way, as I introduce it in this manner, Sara? Right. So thumbs up. So right now, and then I might say, looks like all we have is McDonald's, Panda, and Chipotle. All right. We always eat at Chipotle. And so what have I done? I just did the first thing, which is I noticed that there's McDonald's, Panda, and Chipotle. Those are just the facts on the ground of what's in front of me. So that's one. Two is what feelings are coming up for me. Like I'm actually feeling a little bit disappointed that these are the only options we have available because I want to feed. And then I go to the story. The story might be, in this case, I typically want to make sure that I eat really well and that we feed the family really well, no matter what. And in this case, again, we got these three options, and I'm thinking maybe we try something different. But I'm also thinking, Sara, that you may not be up for this, like making up a story that if I say let's go to McDonald's, that you might really resist it because you wouldn't want to feed the kids this food. But I also know, and this is what I'm going to say, this is where we go into logic. I know that's not necessarily true that you're going to be closed-minded either, though, because you might want to have the kids have a different experience. And so now I've introduced this leverage already of I know the kids you might want the kids to have a new experience. So I'm just wondering now, my request, Sara, this is a hard one, by the way, Shawn, just so we're clear. I've had these restaurants were not a mistake. I'll tell you about that in a second. But I would then ask, I'm thinking, Sara, if you're open to it, let's like, we're on vacation. Let's try something totally new, out of the ordinary. And as a family, let's go have McDonald's. And then the worst case scenario is they will really appreciate the good food they have at home when they try this stuff. And we can talk about that afterwards. Are you up for just trying something new just this once? So, Sara, I'm wondering how that's received by you.
Yeah, it's interesting because, I think tying into the fact that it's like a travel experience, and so this is just like a new experience. And so it would be less about you're going to eat there, I'm not going to eat there. Hey, let's take the kids to do something different. And then I think it'd be more like, oh, maybe we could explore that and see what they think about it.
Right. And so when we have this structure, so notice like she's not resisting, Shawn, because I've played in on this leverage. I also really made it very clear in the beginning. Here's the facts on the ground. We have three bad choices. I'm offering her an option. This is so important for women, by the way. If we command and demand, you'll run into resistance, whether it's like direct resistance or indirect passive resistance. It'll be passive. More than likely, it'll be passive resistance. It'll show up in other places, and it might be, where the hell did that come from kind of discussion out of nowhere, right? There'll be some upset. And that it's actually related to something that happened 3 hours ago, but we don't know. Sara, I love that you're laughing. Thank you for acknowledging that this is true. So now Shawn's probably thinking, holy shit, that does happen. So we get to notice that right now, just deal with it. We're not telling her what to do. And because I've made it clear, my intention is to get us to McDonald's without saying we're absolutely going there. She still has an option to be able to give feedback. Like, I really don't want to go there because, but more than likely she's going to follow. So Sara, if I presented it this way, or Shawn did, what would your answer have been?
So truthfully,
Yeah.
So like just in real life, I think I would be like, okay, let's check it out. Let's see if the kids, want to actually eat there since it's for them. And if they're excited, then yeah, let's do it. Knowing that both of them like reject the idea of McDonald's.
Yeah.
Well,
so
yeah.
the kids would say no,
Yes.
which makes it extra challenging, right?
And in this, remember, this is an absurd situation. In the situation that Shawn had laid out, they had never before experienced McDonald's, and this would be a totally new, almost like a Disneyland experience, because this is the Happy Meal of restaurants for kids.
Well, not for their kids. Okay. So now we've got this structure. So I want to go through it real quickly again. So it's experience, feelings, right? And then it's the story I'm making up. Then it's going to be the logic. You're putting, okay, she's typing across me. This is fun.
Yeah, because my computer's frozen.
Yeah, computer's
I don't know
frozen.
why.
And then the request. Now, what that would look like, just to give James another example, because James is new, he hasn't heard this before, and the rest of you have. Let's pretend that instead of that, that this is, and we're going to do it again, Shawn, so you can try a new experience. Here's the conflict this time. You called Sara, she didn't answer the phone, and she didn't call you back. Okay? Are you up for that? And by the way, it was really important to you that she called back.
Okay.
Like really, really important and urgent. And that bitch didn't call back. Okay. So with that, I'm going to give you that structure again. So you remember it is in first, you want to pre-frame. The pre-framing is so important. And what this might look like to me is, I want to share something with you, something that's been bugging me. You may have noticed it. It's not really about you. I just want to be able to share with you what's going on. So this is the pre-frame about creating safety for women specifically.
Okay.
Then we follow what Annie just put in the chat. Okay? 5 steps. All right. With that, we will get a clock going here just so you have it. You're going to do this in less than 3 minutes.
Okay.
That's how efficient this is. And I know I have apps, timer. The timer has started. Ready, set, go.
Okay. Sara, I just wanted to share with you real quickly how I'm feeling. It's just about what happened earlier today. How, I called you. I had something really important I needed to ask you. I needed some information, and you didn't pick up, and you didn't call me back. And I was waiting there trying to get this information, and I my feelings were actually hurt. It didn't feel good to not be able to connect with you when I called you. And so I made up a story in my head that you didn't want to talk to me, you didn't care, and I'm not important to even return my call. And I know that's not true uh, because I know you love me and you know I love you. Um, and so I just I hope next time if you're busy, like maybe send me like a quick text, like uh, it's just something acknowledging that you saw my call and that we'll connect at some point. That would help me a lot if we could at least have that.
And Sara, what do you say?
Well, you already know what happened. You know why I didn't call you.
But yeah, that's true. I was scared. I was really scared, and I uh, I didn't know what to do.
Well, I was scared because she was so sick and she was vomiting blood and it was awful.
Yeah, no, that sounds terrible. I guess I was a bit panicked when I couldn't find our daughter, and that was the only thing on my mind is where is she? And I could see the look on some of the teachers' faces when I said I don't know where she is, and they didn't know where she was, and I didn't know that you were gonna pick her up, and I don't know. It's just that feeling of not knowing where your kid is when you expect them to be somewhere and they seem lost. But I get it also that you were dealing with something very emotional as well. And so I hear that.
I think I told you like so many times there was so many hard things that happened that morning.
Okay. So first off, great freaking job.
That was
That was outstanding. And the Academy Award goes to
Exactly.
Sara. Oh. Was this a real thing that came up?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Really? Wow. The vomiting blood?
No, not that.
Okay, I was like, yeah, I was like, wow, there's so much here. That was amazing. Sara, let's go just the first 5 steps until the response on how Shawn did with actually introducing this. How did it feel as Shawn first pre-framed and then went through the steps?
Um, that that was good. Um, I think for me, the only thing, are we only doing like what worked?
Just how did you feel without critiquing or
yeah.
coaching Shawn? Just how did you feel receiving?
Um, the intro could have been a little bit more for me. Like I felt like it jumped really fast, and so it was like, um, I personally didn't feel like my feelings were really checked in before jumping into it. Like he kind of said like, hey, I know this was, but I just went into it, and so it was for me a little too short.
Got it.
The pre-frame.
Yes.
And
So you
then
didn't feel ready to hear what he was about to say.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then I felt like the rest was really good because I felt like he did talk about his feelings, and like for me it was very I was able to connect with him.
Okay.
Outstanding. And go ahead.
And I was gonna jump to Shawn, but
Yep, same.
I was gonna say, Shawn, what was your experience delivering it?
Before Sara responded, just everything up until that moment.
Because that was a curveball.
Yes.
Yeah, it felt good because those are, yeah, I mean that's I think it helped me, yeah, connect with Sara. Like she's wondering why I'm upset potentially, and it helped to identify the actual feelings of like what was I feeling like as far as not being able to reach her by on the phone. And yeah, I mean those feelings of like not being important, and someone not caring. But then it super helped me to kind of say, but I know that's not true, because I do know that's not true. But to actually say it out loud and express it, it felt really good. Like it took the energy out of like the hurt,
Yeah.
basically. And it helped me, I guess, be more open to whatever her feedback was.
Boy, that's huge. Step 4 that you just talked about, but I know that's not true because is the power of the entire system here, because it engages the other part of our brain, right? It actually goes to that prefrontal cortex, and then it goes back into memories to find why that story that the limbic system made up is definitely not true. And now it's like, wait a second, and it's getting these new memories. Of course it's not true. She loves me. Why would I make up this stuff?
Yeah.
We're just taking advantage of our brain. And then your amygdala shuts off. It's like, oh, I don't have to be scared.
Yes.
That's brilliant.
And what I've noticed is that the structure sometimes gives us a safety container to be able to express how we really feel. Because what we hear from a lot of, everyone, and especially the men, is that they don't want to share how they feel because they want to protect their women, and they don't want their women to react in a different way. So they rather just bottle up, because she's going to react to my, if I share my feelings, she's going to react. So might as well not do it. And I what I've sensed from you, Shawn, is you almost feel more free to share how you're actually feeling and the story you made up, with this security of knowing that you've got a backup plan, not a backup plan, but the story I made up, right? And I know that's not true, to really like clean it up in a nice way.
It also, I would suggest, gives certainty.
Yes, yes.
When we have a structure and we have certainty that all I need to do is go through these steps and actually just feel it and walk through it, again, we relax. We are not under tension trying to communicate with, lockjaw, all right, what happened is you didn't call me, right? And says, okay, I called you, I didn't get a call back. I was feeling upset because I made up this story that I can flow right through it in a more relaxed manner. And people feel it. They feel your energy. So great job.
Yes. So what I thought you did extraordinarily well is even just starting up with the conversation, it didn't really matter what you were saying. I could feel the energy of feeling safe as you approached it because it felt like you were really there to just share and it felt loving. And despite we say like don't say you, right? But I know you used a couple, but even in saying it, it was from a loving place and it didn't feel very threatening. I also you mastered the formula. You're a really quick learner. You just went through everything. It felt so natural. And I felt especially connected to you as you were saying, what I really wanted was just to connect with you. It was like, I don't know, it was really, really great.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank
Dr.
you.
B,
Hi there.
feedback.
Yeah. I liked how you went through the steps. I saw how I was watching your face and I saw how as you moved to each step, there was that little bit of trepidation or uncertainty as you went through it, but you went through like a trooper. You kept to it, and I think on the other side, absolutely solid. What I would have thought would be more
No.
challenging, a little
Not yet.
better. Not yet. Not yet. I
Not
don't
yet.
know why I'm talking about that. What are you talking? What are you saying?
Yeah,
What was
we'll
it?
come
Do you have
around.
anything to
See, we can always find what's wrong. We always want to
Well, no,
acknowledge what's great first. And the reason for that is just so we focus on these things because we want to make sure, like, yeah, stack these positives so that Shawn takes it in and maybe you do and all of us do. Because I learn something every time we're on here and we say what worked really well and getting any amount of feedback. So, Shawn, what I thought, yeah, you went through the formula. I think all of that, fantastic. What was great, especially, is that when the curveball was thrown and she didn't say, oh, yeah, you know what? You're right. I can do that. No. And she started crying. And you didn't jump right in to fix it.
You stayed
What
with
you
it.
did and said is, I get it. I can understand. That does sound scary. It sounds painful. Even just thinking of like the way you were relating to what she was going through was awesome. A lot of men might have responded differently. Like, hey, this is about me right now. Not that they would say that, but has anyone else reacted that way, by the way? You're trying to share something.
John, you
And
always
then,
make it about you. You always make it about you.
yes. And
Well,
Shawn
can I
did great.
just interrupt
Yes.
real quick? This framework helped me to respond that way because when it actually happened in real life, I didn't respond that way. Like I was not calm where I could accept that emotion that she was having. And so by going through the steps like this, I felt like I was more open to her response. And it's a big difference versus how it really happened.
What great feedback. Thank you for that feedback. Do we record that? Because
Yeah.
we're going to put that into a little clip on. I'm kidding when I say that, but
Say it
I'm somewhat
again.
serious. Here's the cool thing, Shawn, and I'm just curious. I shall ask the question first. Did you actually, by going through the steps, effectively feel like it was resolved before she even responded, at least for you?
In my mind, yes, I felt like I was heard. Like, here's why it bothered me, and then here's why and I also had in my own in the process. Here's why it shouldn't bother me, and she was then free to respond in any way that she wanted to, and I was open to that. Like if she was upset or not upset, like I was open to that next step.
Yes, that's so huge. Because at that point, you didn't need anything from her. The first four steps are about clearing out your need. And all you really want is this one thing, but it's a want. She can meet it, not meet it. I'm unaffected because I've cleared off already. I'm resolved. So great job, Annie.
The person going through the structure is the responsible party. And so with that responsibility comes, if I'm going through the steps at the very end, it is all about the other person. And I have that responsibility to hear that other person out if need be. So I think that it just how you handle it, yeah, like John said, was admirable.
Yeah. Now, if only your partner would have used the same formula, it would have gone even better. But anyway, so with that, let's go to
Could be
let's go to
better.
James.
Oh, yes,
James, what did you think was great about what Shawn did there?
Honestly, I mean, I like kind of what you guys, the point you guys got to right now too. I mean, about, you know, him, I guess going through kind of like what you guys are calling like that phase, right? How he was, there was a resolve, even just being, I guess, being transparent and open and honest about, I guess, what he felt and you know, kind of explaining it and how he explained it, I guess, was kind of nice because even I think like it almost seemed like there was a little relief while saying it, you know, because it was okay to say, it seemed like. And I guess it's almost like he needed to hear it himself, I guess. I don't know. It was like, um, yeah. So I mean, I can see kind of how, I guess, phrasing things in that way, I guess just really make a difference. I mean, I don't know. I think it was nice to see and watch.
Brilliant.
Outstanding. All right. So now let's go to Dr. Brian's favorite part. What could be better?
It wasn't about Shawn, it turns out. My idea here was, can we talk more in the future about the pre-frame, how to create that safety? I felt it was short, but that's not on Shawn. That seems to be what we've been talking about for a while. I thought Shawn was great. I gave him a 10.
A 10.
Oh, wow.
A 10. You went from a 6 to a 10.
I gotta say, never in the history of these things, and we've done not only these, but you know, many different topics before. Never have we received a 10 out of 10.
Right there,
so
man. That was
tribute goes to you.
And the pre-frame is like something that I think has been missing in how I approach it. And I was listening. I go, there it is. There it is. And just fabulous work, Shawn.
You know, before he goes, let me tap deeper into that, because I think that's the difference of what we're trying to bring out here. It's the difference between the more feminine energy and the masculine energy and what is needed. And last time we talked about how men, the masculine, need safety too, but it sounds different. And so in this context, I'll just say from my experience, there needs to be a lot of safety created up front, especially if it's a very emotional topic, because there's a lot of stacking that gets involved. And so it's, at least for me, it's really easy to feel scared, right? Like if he brings up something and it's like, I have this oh shit moment, because I know it's a topic of tension. I don't really want to deal with it, but I know he's going to want to share anyways. And so already I feel tense.
Yes.
Yes.
And I'll give you an example of what that sounds like here in a minute after we get through the feedback. So any feedback for Shawn and the score?
Yes, I would say it's a lot of outside the context of those 5 steps. It's the beginning and sort of, I guess a little bit in the middle is, of course, the creating safety up front. Now, I had no idea this was going to be like a real situation. But even in the beginning, I think pausing and saying, you know, you didn't do anything wrong. I just had this feeling, and I just really want to share with you because there's nothing in between us. You know, I know we share everything, and I just want to be able to share this with you. But you didn't do anything wrong. I don't want you to change anything. I just want to share my thoughts. Is it okay? Like the permission is so key.
Yeah.
Because it gives the other person a chance to be ready and to say yes. And if she's not ready, like this is really a bad time. Like, you know, then it gives you a, you know, like they don't do it, right? Because she's not ready to receive. And then I would say what could even help with feeling heard if it's an emotionally charged topic is towards, I think, when you said, but I know that's not true because I love you and you love me. And I felt like Sara could have needed a little bit more acknowledgement about maybe how she had felt. And I suspect if we were to go in and say, and I know that's not the incident because I know we love each other and we communicate very well. And you're generally very responsible and you keep me updated on all things. So I suspect there's probably something more pressing that got your attention. And this was probably a one-time thing or something that was more reassurance that would get her into like, oh, he sees me and he understands my situation. And this is not an attack. It's just another layer of safety. But I mean, overall, that's like, you know, I wouldn't have known. You know, I don't think any of us would have known
So what's the score?
I would say I would say it's a 9.5.
A 9.5, going from a 7.5 to a 9.5. All
Yes.
right. The Russian judge gives you your score. All right. So for me, there's two things that really stood out. The first, yes, is the pre-frame. And it's a new thing that we're introducing to all of you, right? The pre-frame, especially for women, it's about getting into that emotion and letting her work through it, acknowledging, especially if you know what actually happened, speak into that. Because it's like, and what it might sound like is, and I know what actually happened. Like you were dealing with some chaos and all of these things were happening, and you were probably scared out of your mind as well. So I totally understand why you didn't call. Really the goal of me talking to you right now is just to share with you how I was feeling and what I was thinking, so that you aren't trying to guess what might have been going through my mind or what might still be there now if you see that I look upset. And so what I'm really trying to do is to serve you, is just to communicate so we don't have this space between us. So is it okay if I just share with you what was coming up for me in the moment so we can put it all behind us and then you aren't guessing what I might have been going through?
I love that there's a separation between the conflict, the actual situation, which is like, because I don't want to be dragged back into that place or feeling blamed or I did anything wrong. It was actually quite different of like, I just want to share how I feel, and it's not about this. So in my mind, I almost feel disassociated from that previous pain, and I'm just here to listen to you. Yeah.
So, Sarah, how would that have felt with that type of intro?
Would have felt better.
And obviously, this is a pretend thing. I'm intentionally making it shorter, Sarah, because we have a time frame. But the context of it. So think context. That here's what was going on, acknowledging what actually did occur.
Yeah, I think the acknowledgement would have been good.
Yeah. And this is a tense moment because it was a big deal what was happening that day for you. Yeah. And maybe there's a conversation to be had after this. So you can clear out these emotions too, for you. You're doing great, Sarah.
So we had no idea the call was going to be about this, but it feels nice to kind of revisit this in this context because we haven't been able to talk about it. So thank you.
You're welcome. And now you have that opportunity, perhaps after this, and you've got a structure where you, by the way, the way to do this, what I'd invite, Sarah, is to go through the process, because we can repetitively go through the process. So for example, Shawn shared, he gets all the way down to the request. And this is what I would do, by the way. I'd say, Shawn, first off, because by the way, question, do you want Shawn to be more open? Most women want this. They want their men to communicate feelings more. And men, have you ever heard that? Women want us to communicate feelings more? Yeah. Well, thank you, Dr. Brian. I appreciate the sarcasm. So we do it. And then here's what actually happens for men, just so that the women here know. We communicate our feelings, and then we get what we feel is often attacked back. We are attacked and that we're made wrong for our feelings. So this is such an powerful opportunity when we go through this for women to say, first, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing and being open with this. I want more of this. I have some things coming up for me. And I want to get to your question, but if it's okay, I just want to share some of the things that were coming up for me too, especially in this conversation.
And sometimes he's not ready to hear it either. And so we really got to, it really depends, right? Because if this is new, for when we first started this, I'm like, hey, I want to practice too, because I want to tell you how I feel. But it was too early, because what it actually trained was that whenever he shared, I actually trained him to not share, because I would take that as an opportunity to empty out, which was really not the intention. It's like, Yeah. So
It didn't work.
it did not work at all. And so there was a period where it was like, that was a big issue. And I just knew that, like what he said, right? I knew that something was coming up for me and he could sense it in my face. But it was, I just thought of it in my head of like, I'm just going to stay present with him because I would want him to do the same for me. That if I shared about my emotion, I want him to stay with me and really feel me and be in my, like, kind of like take himself out of his little shell, right? And like just be with me, not take it personally. And so we did that for a little bit. Um, and part of it now is also don't let it stack up, is to have these conversations frequently, so you're in the practice of emptying out your feelings, so we don't have to wait for this person to share their emotion for us to have an excuse.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. And so going back to the feedback very quickly for Shawn, the second thing that I'd bring up is the word you. And so what I might start with instead is, I called you the other day, I left a message and I didn't get a call back. I.
Mostly I.
Just the experience. If we avoid you, because when we say you did blank, what instantly comes up for us? Defense, right? It's total defense. And our amygdala fires off, fight or flight. We've got all this adrenaline pumping. We're ready to fight or run. For women, mostly run or freeze, right? So don't say you. And I, by the way, would give you a 9.38. So I'll be the Chinese judge.
What is this? What is going on?
I think you did fantastic for the first run through.
It's amazing.
Yes. And let's go to James. James, feedback. What could be even better and a score?
I'm not sure that I'm qualified. This is all pretty new to me.
Yeah.
But I mean, from what I heard, I mean, I'd like to give it like a 9 or more. I didn't really see anything wrong, per se. So, I mean, yeah, this is all an experience for me. So I'm just kind of taking it in and taking my notes and taking my nuggets.
Outstanding. Excellent. Dr. Brian, I see you got your hand up. We got 3 minutes.
Great.
What's up?
I'll take one. Shawn, when you're practicing this, as I have been, be gentle with yourself as you go through it, because getting rid of the colloquial you is very difficult. Practicing I statements, not I feel that you, let that happen, but I feel is very big, but also it or something happened, the passive structure, giving yourself some room to do that and practice it. I practice it like I'm doing a Toastmaster speech. I just go ahead and go like, what am I going to say? Where do I have my problems? Okay, this, and I practice that part. The rest of it really comes together afterwards. So just be gentle with yourself. Thanks.
Thank you, Brian.
That is fantastic. Go ahead, Shawn. Final words.
I was going to say thank you, Brian, for that feedback. That's helpful. But yeah, thank you, everyone. This is super helpful.
Yeah, you got it. And what Dr. Brian said there is genius. Practice, practice, practice. Even before you go have the conversation. Let's say it's a live conversation. Practice it right here. This is what will happen as soon as you do it. You'll already be chill before you walk up to the conversation. There won't be emotion there because you've already cleared it out. You've already done it, and I know that's not true. The energy's gone. The story's gone. Now you're just communicating. Right? So it's, what would we say? It's neutral. Yeah. There's no charge.
And I love to just acknowledge all 4 of you, really. You've been so consistent, Sara, Dr. Brian, great to meet you, James. And Shawn, you're just so open to practice, and you picked a hard one. You know, the fact that you picked to work with Sara, it tells me really very proactive in putting this to practice and using something that's real, you know, and I think that's incredible.
Yes. So great job. And with that, we'll be on, of course, next Friday, same time, same place. And we're going to keep adding more and more fun. Bring friends with you, right? Invite people, even if they aren't part of the community yet. And in the near future, we're going to be making this more like a game show, even more so, where we'll pre-set up who's going to be having the conversation. Yes. You'll be able to think about it in advance and make it even more fun. All right. So with that, we will see you all next week. Anything else to add?
No, thank you.
All right.
There's no out music.
Yeah, there's no out music because we got to run.
Bye.
All right.
Love you all.
Pretend that we can
Thank you.
dance like without music. All right. See you guys. Bye.